Chois, Woodman, Geoff Haxton with you here from the First United Bank studio, and looking back on a big dub for the Texas Tech football team as they put it on the Baylor Bears in Waco, 39-14, and we'll take you through the keys to how Texas Tech got to victory. Hax, you start us off.
All right, it's the trenches for me. They were dominant over Baylor. Baylor couldn't protect Chapin. They were getting knocked back into their own backfield over and over again. And then, sometimes you have one thing that doesn't work and then another will work. Well, really nothing was working for Baylor because they tried to rush the football and couldn't move the line. They would run it up in there and only end up with 17 yards. Then on the Texas Tech side, the offensive line paves the way for 171 yards for your tailback, Taj Brooks. I thought the trenches were dominant.
I think that's where we go for the next one is Taj Brooks, and that feeds off the trenches. But 170 yards, this is his fourth straight game with over 100 yards. I think you found something that's successful. And you look at the last 2 weeks specifically, leaning heavy on the run. It's a recipe for success for Texas Tech. And it's not just that Brooks is running through great holes, which there have been some of those, but he has willed his way to some yards as well. The yards after contact have been excellent for Brooks, and he's turned something out of nothing several times this year. So that's my key to the game.
Yeah, and with that, you were able to control some time too.
Agreed.
You were able to control the clock and therefore control the game. And then so your balance on that, your wideouts didn't get a ton of targets.
True.
They didn't get a ton of receptions. But then you have Raider Cup. Baylor Cup. He gets targeted twice, catches both for touchdowns. So now you've developed another little weapon aside there from Tharp. You have two tight ends that you can really depend on to go catch the ball. Both big-bodied, both good receivers, good hands.
Yeah.
And so there's your balance offensively.
Yeah, and that first catch he made in the end zone was not an easy catch. That was pure skill. So no doubt. I think you could find a lot of different reasons why Texas Tech won this game. It was a dominant performance, and maybe, just maybe, they can build off of this. They've looked really good the last 2 weeks, but you got what was last year's Big 12 champion coming in Kansas State. Now they're not quite as beefy or tough as they looked coming into the season, but still, it's a team that Texas Tech has lost to 11 of the last 12 meetings. So got to get off that struggle bus as well. That's coming up this week on Saturday night at 6 o'clock. You'll be able to hear that game on both Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score. For Geoff Haxton, I'm Chois Woodman. You're here with the Double T Sports Network.